Alors bonjour, bonjour. J'espère que vous allez bien. Aujourd'hui, on va parler, on va avoir la chance justement de parler finance, finance avec moi-même, donc Christian Kamtchueng. Mais je vais d'abord nous introduire. On va parler finance en Afrique. Je vais demander justement à mon collègue, Dorothée-Henri Saubatte, de se présenter. Alors, could you present yourself? It will be in English for sure. Sorry for this brief introduction in French. I want to follow them to be able to know what is going on. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, and you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I am surviving. It's a Cameroonian way to say I am fine.
I'm Cameroonian too.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Before going strictly to the point concerning the finance in Africa, I would like to be able to let you introduce yourself, what you are doing, what do you do, and what is your link to finance in Africa.
Okay, just to begin, I'm just happy and honored to take part to this live event.
Yep.
And I would like to thank the whole team of Tropic Business Summit for inviting me. I'm Henri Saubatte, and I'm a credit and debt collection expert. Okay. I've been working in France for a few years now in the field, and I'm actually running my own venture, Credit ID Solutions, which offers technical assistance to the small and mid-cap enterprises in credit management and business information in Africa. And I'm also a corporate owner in credit management, working with various training centers to sensibilize people and company managers to the management of the credit risk. And I'm really interested in that topic because as a wannabe entrepreneur in FinTech too, because I'm actually proposing as a service a credit assessment tool. I found it interesting to give to participate to that roundtable and give a few advices on it.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So I don't know. I think I don't know if you can hear us very well, but it seems that you have to speak a little bit louder. Okay, it will be good for the viewer. It's all right.
It's all right. Okay. Do you hear me?
Yeah, it's all right right now. It's all right. Can you repeat a little bit the name of your venture?
Credit ID Solutions.
Credit ID Solution. So, okay, as I understand it, so you are focusing on credit assessment, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is very good. This is very good. I like it. I think it's a moment of opportunity. Just before going to the detail, I have to introduce myself. I will be the host, but I am an entrepreneur as well in the FinTech too. I would say in two ways. The first one is with WeRepo, which is a peer-to-peer lending solution, which help individuals to be able to lend and borrow money from other individuals. And on the other side, I try to help entrepreneur to meet some investors. I think the time is quite very interesting right now, as we see that the capitalism as we know is very close to failure. And I don't know what you think about this, but what will be the next step? What Africa can, how Africa can emerge or be creative in these ways? I don't know.
First of all, it's a matter of going back to our roots first. I've been asking myself two questions just to begin the debate and go straight to the point. Talking about the topic, I've been asking myself, what are the reasons why the classic banking system is still failing to fulfill the market needs, and the current financial system. And the second question next to it would be this is the question you just asked, how can African fintechs try to fill that gap? So moving back to the first question, I've identified two main things, two main reasons why the classic banking model is failing. Actually, the first of them is the philosophy underlying it. Which brings to my mind another question: was it designed to serve the local population business in the first place? Okay.
Of course, I totally agree with you. So basically, sometimes in the 2008 crisis, we used to say, "Oh, it's too big to fail." Whereas banks, you can see that banks become in the center of the economy without without having any interest on the local surviving. So there is the local mission of the banks disappear. The first mission, as you mentioned, the first mission of the bank disappear. So you are totally right. I think one part of this mission is totally forgotten from the industry, and at some point it took you back. I think a lot of changes has to be made. Don't forget, and please, Henri, don't forget to speak louder, right?
Okay.
It will be good. I think this is one of the main problem. The second one, as I see it, is the fact that clear there is inefficiency in our system. What I'm saying by system is the liberal capitalist. People try other ways. Why other ways? Because as you can see, there is a big issue even with our government. When you look at it, our locality, our little community need banks, to finance, not to make profit, but to finance a local project. But it's the same with our government.
This is the reason why I'm totally agreeing with you. This is the very first reason why I'm asking about the philosophy underlying the bank system. Does it serve the interests of foreign companies, or should it serve the interest of our businesses?
Yeah.
This is the first reason we should be. This is the first question we should be asking ourselves. Okay. Once resolved, the second point would be how do we make it how do we make it serve the world population? How do we make it more accessible to the world population?
Yep, totally. I totally agree. The access is one of the big issue clearly in Africa, and I like to say that the problem is global, but Africa had this problem long time ago. So innovation is already made in Africa. Yeah. But we need not to follow the footstep of the Occidental country. What I mean by that, clearly there is a problem to access to funding locally, even at the country level. But what is very nice, I think, in Africa is that people are used to this problem, and they create alternatives. And I don't think we have to copycat the push for credit card, for consumering, for debt issue, individual debt issue. I think we have to be creative. This is a land of opportunities, I think. What do you think about this?
I'm 100% okay with that. I'm 100% with that. Talking about it, I think that we should fulfill 5 conditions. I will just make it. I will just summarize it. We should fill 5 conditions as FinTechs to to make that happen, to improve our innovative force.
For sure.
Yes, the first condition is to go back to our initial philosophy. I think we should think as Africans. We should go back to our solidarity, to the root of our solidarity, and mutualize our financial means in order to support the world community. Okay. On the contrary to the Western system, which emphasizes the individualistic approach of let's talk about it, of financing. We should also start to think about a more service-oriented business model.
Totally agree.
Yes.
Totally agree.
I don't know what you think about that.
So clearly, I think when you mention it, when you talk about our roots, our philosophy, clearly we can talk about tontine, because I can see that when you talk about this, tontine is a old-fashioned ways to raise money, based on solidarity, based also on values, because there is a notion of honor. I am a part of a community. The community helped me out, but I have a duty to give it back. And this is very important. And at some point, you mentioned philosophy. Finance has to be done with value. Some people think finance is bad, banks are bad. I don't think finance and either banks are bad. It's the way you do finance. This is the main issue. And as an entrepreneur and as a former banks worker, I try to find a way to innovate. And
exactly.
And I help other fintech. I help some of them concerning the the tontine part of it. I help them. I don't know if you know the business group. Business. There is many business group where we are a little club. It's like a tontine, but instead to exchange money, you exchange businesses like deals. I bring you deals. This time I bring you deals. Tomorrow you will bring back some deals for me. You see what I mean? So
that's interesting. That's an interesting approach, and we should go that way. We should provide more services. We should be more focused on bringing more services and
there is lots of initiative.
The simple finance. We should go beyond the remittance. Sorry.
Clearly, you are totally right. There is lots of good ways to do finance. So what I advise to young people is to think outside the box. And as you mentioned, go back to the roots. Focus on your values. And what is the meaning of a community? Because sometimes people are, in France or in Occident, they don't like the term community. But it is essential in order to grow up, in order to survive. You have to think as a community. And, I used to think as a community as a value. When I say sometimes brotherhood is not just about skin color, it's about sharing values. And I think people should not be afraid of finance, but focus on the way they want to
serve the community.
Yeah, exactly.
And so these are the two conditions we have highlighted. I would like to also give 3 other conditions, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, for sure.
Yes, we should also enhance our local energy supply. We still lack energy supply, and which slow down the other investments in terms of infrastructure. We still lack energy supply infrastructure, and also the fourth condition we should reflect about is how to control those infrastructure. I've distinguished 2 levels of control. I will ask 2 questions. Who owns the underlying technology or platform you use to implement your solution? If you take a short survey, for instance, to those fintech entrepreneurs, ask them who owns your underlying technology. Some of them will talk about Amazon. Some of them will talk about Azure from Microsoft. And for the most it's headed of them, they will be talking about Alibaba cloud system, for instance, where we don't have an African and local cloud solution provider to promote our solution, to support our solutions. This is the first key of understanding. The second one being who found our project, who controls the equity. If you take a look at all the fintechs arising all over the continent, you will see that most of them are controlled by foreign investors. You see what I mean? So we need more investment from African people. I'm talking about African institutions. I'm talking about African banks. They need to combine their striking force with the local fintechs to promote local service, locally made service, and make them more affordable for people. I don't know. You see what I mean? Do you hear me?
Yes. Sorry, I can hear. Sorry about this. I was out of battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have one question, Christian.
Yes.
We have to have adapted model to our reality. Clearly, Danny, it's very important. What I used to say, Tontine is it's a good way to think about this. And you know, some people want to adapt Tontine to fintech. You see what I mean? And I think we need to have alternatives. It's like saying, oh, we don't want cash anymore. No, I think we need to have alternative, like people should be allowed to choose to be in the formal or the informal. It's very important if we want to keep some kind of free thinking, you know. And it's for this reason sometimes I try to advise people not to put too much innovation in old-fashioned way to interact. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, so I would like to know a little bit about yourself and about your companies. The way you assess credit, it's very important for let's say African companies. What can you do for them? Are you able to solve the issue of funding or something?
Actually, we are in a development place, in a development phase. We still have an issue gathering all the data. You know,
Yep.
it's quite difficult in the countries we are operating in. It's quite difficult for people to naturally go and use virtual solutions.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they still prefer the usual hand-to-hand cash management and so on, payment solution. And what we need to do is to sensibilize them about how secure they are using our solutions. Once
Yeah. Yeah.
they get more confident about it, they will surely give us more data, and with this data, we'll be able to configure it to a kind of local assessment system, which will help us create an alternate credit risk assessment. So this is
Okay.
what I'm actually looking for. We need to collect more data from both formal and informal sectors to genuinely set up a proper credit assessment system adapted to our realities.
Yeah, it's quite difficult. You know, I have looked at this issue. Is not very easy, and the way I try to fix it, I think I will present it in during the summit. But is still the notion of community and sharing values. I mean, it will be easier for you to invest in a company or in a business you are sensitive with, or you are sharing values with. You see what I mean? And now, if you, it's a little bit a vicious circle, but if you think about this, confidence will not come from maybe the credit ratio of the company, but more about the way people can find themselves in your business. You see what I mean? We have to think differently as an investor, as a customer, and as a business owner. And I am telling you, solution will come from some kind utopic view. You know, it will sound some utopic view, but let's try an example. Let's imagine every morning I am taking my BH, my beignet haricot.
Yes,
at the same place.
exactly.
At the same place. For sure, if the business owner was not, let's say, too much focused with some kind of ego, sometimes when you create businesses,
You fall in love with it.
you have personal issue. You want to prove yourself, or economically, it's a way of survival. But let's say you consider your business as a community business. You should be able to give back this business to your community. So it's not your business anymore. It's a business of the community.
Exactly.
And what I mean by that, I will become, as a customer, I will become investors in your business. I will say, you know what? I want my BH every morning. Let's say I will have my BH with, let's say, 100 CFA francs cheaper than the other customer, and let me becoming a part of your business. You see what I mean? And we have to think like this. And we can't rely on the Occidental institution. See what I mean?
Yes.
And yeah, for sure, we need to think differently. But
and for this point, on this point, how about setting up a kind of a payment solution to help people, to help your consumers buy their food?
There is also, for sure. I think we have. This is very strange, actually. When I go back to Cameroon, you can see in Africa, everywhere in Africa, you have orange payment, right? Orange money.
Exactly.
And sometimes I'm very surprised how evaluate is the phone payment in Africa in comparison to France.
Exactly.
And clearly, there is ideological issues in France, like lobbying, where banks don't want to have new actors coming in. But Orange has already all the technology to push banks to bankruptcy. I am telling you, when you think about this, it's obvious, and clearly we are in advance in the way we see a banking system. If you look at Kenya, it's impressive. If you look at Ethiopia, if you look at the work of Mugabe as well, not Mugabe, but in Rwanda, you will be surprised.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, that's the reason why we should move. We should move away from current, let's say the usual banking system. We should propose more. We should be focusing on services-oriented innovations. If people will need to pay, for instance, bills for healthcare, for instance, or for scholarships, how about setting up many payment solutions oriented to such issues? This will surely bring more people use our local solutions and enhance innovation in this area. This is what I think. And there is also there is also another issue I need to point out here is the regulation framework. We need a more business friendly regulation framework. What do you think about it?